We here at Cole-astic Cinema want to issue a trigger warning for anyone who is sensitive towards graphic content, sexual situations, or abuse. Listener discretion is advised. The opinions in this podcast are solely those of the creators and do not reflect the opinions of the filmmakers involved. If you are of legal drinking age, feel free to have a drink with us, but please do drink responsibly. You're listening to Cole-astic Cinema.
Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here, huh?
There is no pena, only soul.
And you never once paid for drugs.
Not once.
With your host, Fabian Salazar. It doesn't stick out like... Those fucking rounds are huge, and then it doesn't like stick out of the bottom of the rifle. And Cole Butterfield.
Because everyone knows that Cole loves child death.
Right. Where we talk about movies, most of the time.
When like dragging the lady down with the truck.
That got you more than the child murder?
Yeah, it's child murder.
So come along for a ride and have fun.
That show, dude. Billy and Mandy was my goddamn shit.
No, it's so much fun. That show, like, God, it was leagues above everything else.
Oh yeah, well I just love that it had Richard Horowitz, who's also the voice of like Invader Zim.
Yeah.
Or the main like the leader alien and Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, Pox.
Yep. Pox, yeah, fucking. Also the voice of Alpha 5 in Power Rangers. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nice. Shout out.
He's also in a weird. Fuck. So, grew up in a small town. One day my brother and I ended up missing the bus because we were most likely, I think we were just fighting and being shitheads. We ended up missing the bus. So I think it was like kindergarten and first grade. So I decided we're just going to walk to school. Now this is in Roosevelt's. There's a bit more traffic and stuff going on. It's about maybe 2 miles away from our house. And I've never like walked there before. So we end up like walking on like, we eventually end up getting there. Like my mom's friend ends up like pulling us over in the middle of the road. Like, hey, let me give you guys a ride to school. I'm like, no, I'm turning down rides. We totally made it. Mom got pissed off. She ended up having like for a week straight, we couldn't watch TV. We just had to watch this thing called like Stranger Danger, where it had Richard Horowitz as an alien getting put in different situations where he'd have to it's the craziest fucking thing. If anyone has any idea what the fuck I'm talking about, like look it up. Like there's only like clips on YouTube. It's really hard to find. At one point in time, like Richard Horowitz as this alien in like a long sleeve striped shirt and overalls ends up in a hot tub with two old people for some fucking reason. It is
the old swinger couple.
Yeah,
from like
pretty
SNL.
much. Yeah,
it's just Will Ferrell.
The lovers with Rachel Dratch and Will Ferrell. Yeah, it's pretty much kind of feels almost like that. But
if you know what that bit's called, leave it in the comments. It's not going to be too off from the movie we are watching tonight. We are watching The House That Jack Built.
The House That Jack Built.
This is the movie that I selected for the season to show Cole, to scare the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But honestly, this movie isn't like too scary. It's intense as hell. But it's not too scary. The visuals, especially at the end, are very, very pretty. Like painting-esque, I'd say. It's like looking at a classical painting.
I do enjoy classical paintings.
It's really, really fun. So it's fun if you're into serial killer movies.
I mean, definitely into serial killer movies. I got a story that I've always worked on involving serial killers. At one point in time, I found myself taking physical notes about serial killers throughout history in a Starbucks in Bountiful. I had to stop about 20 minutes in because I realized I was taking notes about serial killers while sitting at a Starbucks in Bountiful. Like this is how things start. I'm just gonna put this away and switch.
So anyway, The House That Jack Built. It was made in 2018, directed by Lars von Trier, one of my favorite directors, written by Lars von Trier, and based off an idea by Jean-Le Halland. It stars Matt Dillon, Bruno Ganz, Uma Thurman, and Siobhan Fallon Hogan. She's the Edgar's wife in Men in Black. The redheaded lady, Edgar's wife.
One needs to take yourself to Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, get a facial and...
hire an interior decorator because...
Come in here quick, because damn. Another movie quote that I'll have to put in the intros. Locations. It was filmed in Denmark and Sweden. It was made for 8.7 million euros.
How much is that in American?
I don't know. Somebody convert it and put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh, it only made back 250,000 US dollars
Whoa.
and grossed back 3 million US dollars. So this movie bombed hard,
That is.
which is not a surprise for Lars von Trier movies because they're mostly they're. It's weird like seeing him. I'm not exactly sure like what his most profitable movie was, but I have a feeling it was Melancholia.
Debuted at $250,000.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Let's see. Melancholia came out 7 years before. So it was made for 7.4. Yeah, Melancholia grossed back 17 million. So it made its money back and some change. But I'd say like most Lars von Trier movies bomb, but they're not made for like to make the money back. They're like strictly art pieces. And that's why I kind of like them a lot.
Yeah, that is like one of the one of the only few things I've heard about this movie is that it is like more of an art piece. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, heard it from my former coworkers talking about it. He's like, oh yeah, no, like this is like it's an art piece. He's like, you really like it. It's like an art piece. It's also horror. And I'd never like when anybody says that I'm gonna like anything because then I spend the entire time trying to figure out what about the thing that they're showing me. It's like, okay, what about this? It's like when I was told to watch Letterkenny, I'm like, all right, why?
Why do you think I would like this? Because the guy gets drunk and beats people up. Like,
Yeah,
is that how you think about me?
Yeah, who am I in this scenario? They're like, oh yeah, no, Cole will get this.
Yeah,
because it's just fun being a fucking anxious paranoid.
No, I get that too. It's like, oh, I think you'd really like this band. All they talk about is like murder and like cannibalistic suicide. It was like, cannibalistic unaliving.
Cannibalistic
But I was like, okay, I'm glad that's how you think of me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna check it out. Like, you're not wrong, but like,
you're not wrong. You're just an asshole. Anyway,
so yeah, that's all I know about this. Is like kind of like an art piece. Didn't it get like kind of banned in certain areas?
I'm sure it did. This is the extent of my notes. I don't put it past any country to want to ban a Lars von Trier movie. Like, I think Antichrist is banned in like Australia and a bunch of other countries. Like Antichrist is fun. That one's more fucked up than this one, I would say.
Oh goddamn!
So we'll have to get to watching that at some point. We might have to have KG back for that one. But yeah, this will be the third time I've seen this movie. First time I watched this movie, I started peeking towards the end, and it just made the ending so fucking visceral. Like, oh my god, this movie's pretty. But even without it, like the second time I watched it, I was still like, this movie's still really, really, really pretty.
I think with the brief thing that you showed me, like the 30 seconds to like a minute that you showed me, something going on to the end, I'm like, oh, like this. I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this movie. And probably also be mostly uncomfortable when it comes to some of the more visceral shit behind it. So I'm excited. I did no research.
Hangnail.
Ew, God, ew. Yeah, it's bleeding.
Also, in context, not out of the realm here. Yeah, I think we just keep this preamble nice and short and concise, and we'll come back with a lot more notes just regarding the movie. As for I've seen this one. As for like, what are your expectations for it?
I expect to be kind of captivated by Matt Dillon. I hear that he does a great job, and I usually enjoy him in a lot of the things that he's in. I just really like Matt Dillon. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's really good in this one.
Especially when he plays like some sort of smarmy piece of shit, like in Something About Mary.
Yeah.
Like, we're just like, oh my God, dude, you're doing such a great job.
He's really good in that one.
So yeah, no, I'm expecting to kind of, I think I'm going to come out liking this. I think
I think it's one of the easier ones that that's as fucked up as that is to say about this movie. It's one of the easier Lars von Trier movies to like. Antichrist is kind of that one's hard to like if you're not already a fan, and that's how I got introduced to him. So it was like, holy shit, who is this guy? I was like, what else has he made? I gotta check this director out.
all right.
But then like Melancholia is, I'd say that's the
that's the only one I've heard of about this dude.
That's the most depressing one, but I think that's the easiest one to watch I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass. Take a shot, bingo. For those, let us know what you think. If you've seen any Lars von Trier movies, let us know in the comments what your favorite one is and how you would introduce somebody who's never seen one of his movies to somebody. What one would you start with? I like starting with Antichrist, which you're lucky I'm not showing you that one.
I'm pretty sure it's still on the list, though.
I like to start with Antichrist because it's kind of like if you can get behind this, you can get behind anything he makes. I still haven't seen either Nymphomaniac movies, but they're on my watch list for sure. I think we decided that's coming from the headphone splitter.
Yeah.
That feedback, because it wasn't in the editing.
Yeah. No, but I'm definitely getting it now.
Yeah. No, I think that's the headphone splitter, because both of our headphones are brand new. Both of our mic and cables are brand new. So anyway, I think we're just going to go in and go see what we think about this movie. This has been a short preamble, and we will now do the ad read.
Oh, yes.
This podcast is brought to you by Hopkins Brewing Company in South Salt Lake City, Utah. Low-key brickline brew pub with great beers, great friends, and great food. Cole, what did you drink today?
I had another one of their classic beers, the Friendly Introduction Pale Ale. Now, this is exactly what the name says. A friendly introduction to the type of style beers they do. It is light. It's got a sweetness to it. You got the mild little kind of like hoppy background in the back, just to kind of let you know that it's still a beer, but it's just super sweet. Goes down great. Crisp. Take a shot, because that's the only way I know how to describe beer. It's just, honestly, it really is a friendly introduction, and it's just a really good time when you can't decide on anything else. This is just a go-to beer.
Nice. To celebrate me on my dumbass diet and losing 20 pounds, I actually had a beer today. I drank the Guava Goddess, and that's the one that we've had on tap for a little bit that has a charity behind it. So we still have it on tap for just a little bit. Those of you who live around the area, go check it out. It's a very, very smooth beer. I felt it was really, really easy to drink, and it quenches your thirst very nicely. I thought the flavors were very, very sweet. It's a very sweet, fruity beer, hence the name, Guava Goddess. But yeah, I'd definitely check that one out if you got the time. And check out some of the food. Got new specials coming out. Got some new burgers, some new brunch specials always. So yeah, go check out Hopkins Brewing Company.
Mm-hmm.
The personification of humanism, dignity, culture, and goodness was, by the irony of fate, suddenly present in the middle of one of the all-time greatest crimes against humanity.
A little bit of this episode, if I'm not gonna lie.
Gotta feel,
Yeah, and this is our late night low voice podcast.
it seems like one of those where a camera, like a videotape, would have been necessary for the capturing just the facial expressions and emotions.
Yeah, that one, that one, but we're not, well, I mean, we could do that. If any of you think we should do that in the future, let us know. If enough of you want it, we will add our facial expressions to the podcast for those YouTube viewers. That could be a fun thing, and I'm not opposed to it. That being said,
that being said, first of all, I feel like it was a lot more built up than what it actually was. Like, I was expecting like some like visceral, horrifying, like
yeah, like nail biting,
Yeah,
white knuckling,
like
crazy shit,
and
right?
stuff's going on, and no,
It's not.
I mean,
Like that's what I told you. It really isn't.
yeah, like the most like visceral, upsetting part was just like at one like dragging the lady down with like the truck.
That got you more than the child murder.
Yeah, it's child murder. Kids suck, man. Let's be honest.
Yeah, kids do suck, but
Kids are terrible.
honestly, well, that and the
Like I didn't have to see like the kids like road rash, half missing fucking face.
that
Like
that was fine for me. I didn't give a shit about that. That made me laugh the first time I watched this movie. I was like, God damn, he's fucking dragging her through the okay.
Well, almost I just thought like that was like he was clearly asking to be caught with like all the things that he's. It made me feel like I was this terrible person because it's like, well, no, you're clearly asking to be caught. What are you doing? No, don't do that.
So yeah,
This is
you
what I would
understood.
do.
You understood the movie then.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
it's like, I wouldn't do that if I want to get away with that.
It's super early on. I think it's like one of the it's one of the early conversations he has with Virgil. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this, Verge is Virgil from Dante's Inferno. He guides him through hell. Anyway, it's one of the earlier conversations they have is like, you play hide and seek, you run, but you run through the reeds, you leave a clear path to be caught. You are asking to be caught. You want to be caught at some point.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that a little bit later, but go on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it kind of made me question things about myself. Like, I wouldn't do that if I was doing that. But also, like, the child murder, like, I mean, mostly just the taking the wire and fixing the smile.
Yeah. That one's so
that fucking's creepy and sticks with you.
That one, that one's giving me goosebumps now talking about.
Oh yeah, no, that is upsetting.
That shit's so upsetting. It's so ooh.
But just dragging Men in Black lady after
dragging her through the street. It's kind of like B movie funny.
It's sort of B movie funny, and also it's just like you like half-ass breaking her goddamn windpipe.
Yeah, like he's still new to being a serial killer.
Also, because he wants to be caught. He wants to be caught. Like that's like
he kind of wants. He wants to be caught at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but not yet.
No,
that's why his OCD hasn't like. I'll get into when I do my tirade because I'm going to go off.
I didn't take any notes. I couldn't like I tried to take notes, but every time I the few times I looked away, I'm like, oh fuck, I missed something. Like, could you rewind? So I didn't take any notes.
It's hard. I have a handful, so I'll dive into my notes. But like the child murder gets me, and then the fucking abusive relationship. You heard me just fucking struggling.
Oh yeah, no, like you had to walk away during
that one. There's there's several things that he says where I'm like, gah. I'm like,
I mean, I mean, regardless of like getting a spoilers, breaking down the plot, and all that, Matt Dillon, oh my god,
he's so good in this movie.
Holy shit,
he crushes.
Holy shit,
he's so good in this movie.
Fuck, dude, he is. Oh, man, I mean, like I said earlier, like I'm already a fan of Matt Dillon. Like I think he's a great actor, does a great job.
He's so compelling to the point where it's like. The last scene in the movie when he's trying to rock crawl or rock climb his way over, like you're fucking kind of rooting for him to get over there.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is like the entire movie you're kind of like
like he's such a piece of shit, but you want him to get away from I'll get to it, but like the end scene where he's rock crawling is like come on, and then when he finally falls, it's like. I feel first time I ever watched this movie, when he falls, I went, oh, fuck.
Roll credits. It's like,
and then it rolls so fast. It leaves you with nothing. It's just instantly, okay, credits. It's done. Yeah. That's it. That's your lot. Get the fuck out of my theater.
Yeah. Fucking pick up your shit.
No, it's fun. Like, it's so much fun. Every time I watch this movie, as soon as that end, it's still, this third time, it still hit me with the, fuck.
I felt like there was so much more movie. Like, and also, like, the few times we paused it, like, it's like, wait, we're already this far.
It's such a fast watch.
Oh, it is. It really, man, it fucking sucks you in. It does a great goddamn job.
No, I applaud Lars von Trier. This is one of my favorite movies that he's done.
Oh, this is a great.
It's fun.
Really, really
so
well done.
After this one, would you? I feel like I've given you here's a platter saying here's a Lars von Trier movie. Eat this, and you went, this is really good. And I'm like, Oh, well, if you like that, here's some Antichrist.
I mean, I'm down. Like that's got a.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be.
It's got Willem
the
Dafoe.
same stuff. Yeah, it's got Willem Dafoe. The only two characters in that movie are Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsborough.
I mean, what more do you
Like,
need?
it's got two characters in that.
Is okay. Is the camera work going to be the same? Because that's something I noticed. Like at times,
Yes.
it felt like it was like handheld, like shitty, like documentary style when it came to like a lot of like the killing.
It's a
and the
little like
interaction.
he doesn't have as many like cuts where it's like we're talking about art. Here's the art.
Yeah.
Here's what we're talking about. It's a lot more like it's character drama versus the life and times of a serial killer. Like him.
But it's
him
like
in
actually
his life.
filmed that way because there's times where it's like shaking, like when you get the part where like they're
Well,
like,
handheld when he runs. Yeah, I got that.
like all that.
But
well,
no,
but
I
that
don't-
happens a lot. And then where it interchanges into like kind of like the long, steady, like
No, most
actual
of
shots.
Antichrist is very slow, long take tripod shots and everything.
okay.
It's
I guess that
it's an
also adds-
entirely different movie.
But also, I guess that also adds to it, like
But
with
I
the-
love
how the camera works
again,
going.
like when he does
Yeah.
the like recount of human or like human cinema and everything.
Yeah.
There's so many shots of his other films. Like there's multiple Antichrist shots. There's multiple there's the Melancholia. I don't know where that birth scene is from, but I know it's probably from one of his films.
Yeah.
I don't know what one though.
Oh man, no. It's just,
Anyway, let's
let's get to your notes because like I legit took no notes. I could,
no.
I could not
Let's
look
get
away.
to your notes because you took no notes.
Took no notes.
So let's get to your notes because if we get into my notes, I'm going to finish the episode out. So let's get into your notes.
All right, my non-existent notes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you took a couple, right? Like I saw you writing shit down.
I got 2 notes deep, and then we had to like start rewinding shit. Like, oh hey, did you cash out? I'm like,
Okay.
No.
Okay, so maybe I won't ask you for your notes. Maybe I ask you, what are your thoughts on this movie?
not nearly as terrifying as I was led for it to be believed.
I told you it's not terrifying.
Yeah, no. Honestly, Mac really built it up. Like, oh yeah, no, dude, it's really fucked up. I don't think I would say it's necessarily really. I mean,
It's pretty
It's-
fucked
it's
up, but it's
fucked
not
up.
like insane like
I'm not gonna have like
Scarring.
nightmares after
Yeah.
this or anything like that. Or think,
agree.
like,
Yeah,
anything about, like,
it's not over the top fucking
But it's-
scary.
I think it's because it's how it's shot and how it's acted to where like I don't have that like because like Matt Dillon does such a great job of just like this.
he's such a compelling character. Like
Yeah.
you want to follow his story.
Yeah, and he just does a
Whether
great
or
job
not
of like how
he's-
he delivers lines, how he like you
Yeah.
like how he delivers his character's worldview on everything with just like soft, subtle. Like he doesn't really raise his voice all that much. He's just kind of monotone in one spot the entire time.
And just like when he's talking to Virgil, like that's their journey through hell and everything. Like,
Oh yeah. Which
that's
which
so
like
fucking cool.
Virgin, Dante's Inferno. So okay, so we're descending through the several layers of hell and all that, and it just
It's so
and you got
fucking
the red
cool.
robe. Like yeah, like my notes are just like not nearly like I mean okay the house itself, the actual like corpse house.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
the
some
house.
that is
Yeah.
some intense goddamn
That's
imagery right
the
there.
house that that it ends up being is the
Yeah.
house of the victims he's killed
Yeah.
over 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
His 60 victims.
Yeah, which
60
is
plus victims.
a great. Where does it say like a weird like a great visual as he's like getting ready to descend, like he's like have the hole open up in the middle, and he's like actually descending into hell through the actual house, like surrounded by the corpses of what he has done. Like that is a great goddamn visual. A visual.
Yeah.
Also weird that Uma Thurman was credited so high when she's in there for like 3-5 minutes.
I told yeah. I was going to say something but I chose not to. I was like, how'd you feel about like Uma coming in and just being immediately killed, and then the Men in Black lady whose name I don't remember her name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But she immediately gets killed too. Like,
Yeah.
the next two top billed actors are just immediately fucking killed.
Honestly, I was kind of, I was kind of relieved that Uma Thurman was killed because I just found her character incredibly annoying.
She was so fucking annoying.
Just so annoying and just like, oh, you might be a serial killer. You might be a serial killer. Like, don't be joking around about that shit when you're in this incredibly precarious
at the
fucking
end, it was like,
situation.
no, you don't have the disposition. You're too much of a pussy to be a serial killer.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, fine, fuck it, I'm killing you.
Yeah,
Bam.
just like,
It gets to you too as a viewer. You're like, all right, you've been
You-
so annoying. Fuck it, I don't care anymore.
yeah,
You're dead.
Jack, this is Jack, and then just bash her in the fucking head.
Oh, this jack is so heavy. Ooh, Chekhov's gun. Use this fucking jack to bash my fucking head in.
But also, it's barely Chekhovian because it's like not even like in like the third act. It's like literally like 30 seconds fucking later.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, we got this shoddy fucking welding job done, and just
But I guess my next question is, did you like it?
the movie as a whole, or Uma Thurman taking a jack to the face.
Both.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
No.
it's good.
No, this
right?
is a really,
It's
really good
so
movie.
much
This is a
fun.
really, really good movie. I'd definitely be down to like watch it again, do a further dissect into it, because especially like when you start getting to like the older imagery in like in the end, like when he's doing his descent into hell,
I
the
would like
imagery
to-
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And just the monologues and him talking to himself, but also having Virgil talk to him because he's. Yeah,
I would like to know a lot more about like the poetry and the artists that they both talk about when
Yes.
they're in their back and forths.
Yes.
I was like, I would like to know more about that going in, to just kind of know like. But also, it's like it's up to personal interpretation, because art is subjective, but and I feel like that's a lot of this movie is it leaves the question, art is subjective, so what is art and how do we feel about it? But also like leaving those poems, those arts, those pieces, anything, the art of the architecture, the buildings, everything, what we leave behind, it's all subjective. It's all how we take it. How do we feel about it? How is it going to inspire us to create our art? And all of those crazy questions that brings up. Anyway, what's your do you
Well,
not?
no, it definitely does bring in a lot of those questions, like when it comes to like just what is art and kind of like semi-permanence behind it, because it seems like
Can a makeshift building of human corpses be art?
I mean, if Yoko Ono can yell into a goddamn microphone, then anything can be art.
I mean, technically, but I wouldn't ask how you got there.
Yeah. No. I mean, obviously, like I think the obvious answer is no, like serial killing and all that shit. Like, that's not
Well,
fun.
yes, don't fucking kill people. It's obviously out of a morality standpoint. Yeah, don't fucking kill people. That's obviously
But
no.
that's also something you could easily replicate with just like people pretending to like be still and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, no, you could get easily 30 some odd college students that are performance artists, get some makeup, dress them up like corpses, and have them be a house.
have them just be stacked up on each other.
Like
Oh,
it's just as you'll have to pay them or give them college credit.
oh, correct. Yeah, most likely college credit has to be
Most likely college
students.
credit. I never. Well, no, that's a lie. I got paid for shooting stuff. Shooting stuff on camera. Thank you.
There you
Not
go.
shooting stuff with a gun, because I'm not an Olympic style shooter or whatever about it.
Looking for a full metal jacket.
Yeah, full metal jacket forever, and then I have to kill one of my guys that thinks he's my best friend. That happens in the movie. Everything that's said is if you've watched the movie, you'll get. If you haven't,
Yeah.
you might want to go watch it before you listen to this preamble. We're gonna be doing a lot of back and forths about
Otherwise,
these.
we're just gonna sound insane.
Because this one we're gonna be talking a lot about like dead bodies and fucking murder and there's no
we have
unaliving in this one, but there are murders and gunshots and cutting off titties and
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That was
That one's like just straight up abuse, and like he cuts off her too.
Man, I mean, just the kind of that kind of relationship. Like, oh, man, it was. Fuck, dude. I mean, there's so many things to talk about this goddamn movie when it comes to
like, look how you make me act.
Goddamn. Also, just there's also some weird humor behind a lot of it, where like he takes a tit and just like puts it underneath,
slaps it on the fucking the cops. Yeah, no, I laughed the first time too. I was like, fucking. Again, like that's that.
You're asking
he's
to be
asking
caught.
to be caught.
He's like not wearing gloves a majority of the goddamn time, so it's fucking fingerprints.
So, do we want to get into my notes?
Yeah, dude, because
All right,
like I said, I've got no fucking notes, man.
Let's get into my notes.
Busy
Okay,
watching this insane fucking movie.
That being said, my very first note is Mr. Sophisticated, and we actually lost the back half of my notes, so we're gonna go ahead and quick.
Well, it was like a weird, like this whole artistic thing happened while we were going through your notes, where it just started descending deeper into certain levels where I think they kind of just got lost along the way.
You know, kind of like the different circles of hell.
Exactly, it was definitely like descending into different circles of hell, and you kind of just lose your notes along the way. I mean, I think that's. Honestly, I don't judge you for that. Anyone would lose their notes. There's several levels that you're going through. You're going to lose them. Yeah.
So my first note was Mr. Sophistication turning into a modern killer. So he's so OCD about making sure everything's clean, right? He's always had this. I got to make sure everything's clean, to the point where when he actually commits his first like real murder, besides Uma, when he kills the redheaded lady from Men in Black. He can't stop cleaning her house, and then the police show up and he can't stop. But by the end of the movie, he's evolved so much where it's like I really just don't care anymore, and I want to be caught.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave every single trace possible to the point where the police are chasing me to my final murder.
Yeah.
And then, we already talked about Virgil being Virgil from Dante's Inferno, and he's guiding him through the circles of hell. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and just like the prying with different tactics, trying to get into Men in Black lady's house. Like he tries to say he's a cop, and then he says he's working for the cops, and then he says he's an insurance salesman. So he's got that knowledge where he's just trying to play off, and when it finally comes down to money, she's like, "Oh, money," and he's like, money works. Okay, that got me in your house.
Hell yeah, money usually. Yeah,
yeah.
I'd be paid to be murdered by Matt Dillon.
Yeah. And then still pretty early, giving the police too much information, like to the point where he's just so annoying that the officer just like tells him to fuck off.
Yeah. I like that part a lot. It's just like, and this and this and this. It's like, okay, we get it. Okay, yeah.
All right, I'm sick of you. Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you for your time and for your contribution, but get the fuck out of I will tase you right now.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, his bolt action rifle that has a magazine, apparently.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's custom built.
He says it's a 30-06. I'm like, yeah, I've shot a 30-06, but it's a single action rifle. Like,
yeah,
it's just got the one round. But apparently, he's able to load like a fucking like 10-round magazine into it. That's nonsense, and it doesn't.
It took me right out of the movie.
It doesn't stick out. Like, those fucking rounds are huge, and then it doesn't like stick out of the bottom of the rifle. It's like, no, the entire thing just goes up into.
Yeah, see, I was too busy just being blown away and remembering how big fucking 30-06 rounds are. I was like, oh my God, I forgot that they get that big. Because when I go shooting, it's just like,
oh yeah, blown away, just like the children he shot.
Oh my God, which was awesome. Because everyone knows that Cole loves child death.
Right. And then, the use of red in this movie.
Dude.
So like his red van, but whenever he's not in the red van and he's doing something else, he's got something else red. Like that scene, he's got a red hat. And then the scene where he's abusing his girlfriend, he markers the outline of her boobs with a red marker.
Oh my God, dude!
And then the entire ending, he's got a red robe on.
Yeah,
so he's always just dressed in red, against not like a desaturated background, but more of like a muted background. So the red just really, really fucking pops in that. Let's see. Then just the abuse that he's just putting this woman through, like his girlfriend that he's been with for however, and just and the telephone that they're talking on is red.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just fucking nonsense. Let's see. Oh, and then my last note is just the sound of hell. Like, I thought that was really fucking cool, and it's such a cool artistic decision to be like, well, hell is full of everybody that basically isn't a saint.
Yeah. Pretty much like those
So
that
like
have denied
basically,
God.
basically everybody in the world. Well, no, that's the ninth circle of hell.
Yeah, no. I believe it was,
no. The ninth circle of hell is reserved for people that have been baptized and accepted God, but then rejected God. People that haven't been baptized, they're in limbo, first circle, and then lust, greed, I think it's anger, wrath, something like
well, it's anger, wrath, greed, lust,
gluttony,
avarice, gluttony, and pride.
Oh well, those are the 7 deadly sins. That's
I always get those ones confused.
No, that's purgatory. The 9 circles of hell are a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'll pull them up real quick. But while we're talking about that,
Because they wanted to get to heaven, the correct answer was the Mormons.
turns out it was the Mormons.
That was correct.
But yeah, I know Limbo's the first circle. Then let's see. You got heresy, which is the 9th circle. Lust, violence, fraud, gluttony, greed, treachery, inferno, anger. Wait, hang on. I'll cut that out because that's what are the 9 circles of hell? Hang on. Let's do this again. Starting over. Let's see. So yeah, limbo, lust, gluttony, greed, wrath, heresy, create my account. Fuck off. I just want to know the 9 circles. All right, fine. We'll go to Wikipedia. How about that? Wikipedia is not for real people. It's only for people that are fake. Fake ass bullshit middle school t-shirts. Let's see. So I got up to heresy, limbo, lust, gluttony, greed, wrath, heresy, violence, goddamn, fraud.
Fraud is...
And then the 9th circle. Goddamn, fraud is long. Where the fuck? The 9th circle is treachery.
Okay, but fraud? Fraud.
False prophets.
Still, I mean, I guess, but that just seems like one of those kind of lesser, stupid fucking sins and like levels where it's just like we got to throw something in here. Fraud.
I guess. Yeah.
Fraud is bad.
I guess like how we think about fraud now, but like back then, it's more about like false
gods, false idols, things like that. Like where like pretty much anything but God being the one that you worship and shit like that. I mean, I guess, but also, I mean,
God, I really want to play through Dante's Inferno again now.
Honestly, I really want to start rereading Spawn because that's the only thing I was thinking about. I was just trying to remember because here's the comic book connection. What level of hell Malboja, the one that turns Al Simmons into Spawn, is in charge of. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I'm pretty sure that he's like in charge of like Wrath because he gets this former mercenary that ends up bringing back into Sin, but I cannot remember for the life of me.
Wrath or Violence?
Violence, one of the two.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. All right, this is going to sum up this episode. We're going to wrap it up, and as always, follow us on the socials. We're on Instagram, and we're on Spotify, YouTube, soon Apple Music Plus, Paramount, Ultra, Max,
Peacock will also be on Max Mini, Max Negative, Disney Minus, where that's actually the only place where you can string a song of watch Song of the South.
Jesus
it's
Christ!
us.
All right.